Well, I'm not going to try to thank everyone, and I know you're grateful for that. But certainly I'm very grateful to our speakers. I know two of them had to leave already. I believe Jennifer is still around here someplace. Jennifer, thanks for staying here. Appreciate it. I'm very grateful to all the staff of the Breslin Center who have been so hospitable to us, and very grateful to their hospitality. Thank you very, very much. Thanks so much as well to all of our vendors and our sponsors, and especially the Knights of Columbus, who are always just great men supporting our parishes and our diocese. Thanks to all of you as well. I certainly wish to welcome here today Archbishop Simon. He's the Archbishop of Gitega in Burundi. Now, Bishop Simon is Father Durdonet's bishop, and so it's because of his generosity we have Father Durdonet. So Father Simon, thank you for being here with us. I'm very grateful to all of our musicians on both sides of the altar here. Thanks so very much for the wonderful music you have provided today. And the countless volunteers. God bless you all. Thank you so very, very much. And finally, I do have to thank, and I know I don't want to do this, but I have to thank Father Joe Krupp and Craig Pohl. Joe and Craig, thank you. Where are you, Joe? All right, enough. There is nothing colder than a Christian who does not seek to save others. So St. John Chrysostom opens a section of his commentary on the Acts of the Apostles. We are gathered here today, almost a quarter of the active Catholics of the Diocese of Lansing. Why are we here? We are here because God made us for himself. We are destined for heaven. One of the questions asked me when I was named Bishop of Lansing over 10 years ago was what my vision for the diocese was. I had just arrived. How could I have a vision? It was simple, I said. I want to get everyone to heaven. That is the happiness for which we were made. The happiness to which we are destined. Jesus had to correct his apostles today as they were looking only to power on this earth, thinking that would give them happiness. That being the greatest here and now was the end all and be all, and that would give them happiness. It is as though they had never heard Jesus say that he was going to suffer and die. Now, scriptures tell us that he said it 3 times. I bet he told them 1,000 times. Rather, Jesus tells them, it is not about what we get, it is about what we give. Yes, each one of us here today was made for happiness. But as John Chrysostom would say, that's not all that there is to it. That is why this vision that I presented 10 years ago was not enough. It had to be expanded. We certainly need to heed the Lord's call to seek heaven for ourselves. But my brothers and sisters, there are no excuses for not helping to save others, to help them achieve the happiness with God, which is their destiny and calling as well. That is why these past 6 years we have focused ourselves on announcing the gospel of the Lord. Now, I know some of us may say, oh, we are too poor in resources or in ability to seek out others and their salvation. Remember that the widow put in her single coin and Jesus applauded her. She will be our judge. Remember that Peter told the cripple outside the temple that he didn't have any money, but what he had he would give, the name of Jesus. Peter will be our judge. We may not be able to do everything. We know that. But we can do something. Now, I know that some of us may say we are only simple folk, or we do not have the education needed to be evangelizers. Most of the apostles were fishermen, poor and unlearned. They will be our judge. Simple saints like Saint Therese of the Little Flower could only love her little way. She will be our judge. As Chrysostom would say, each one can help his neighbor if only he is willing to do what is in his power. Of course, he meant not only physical help to our neighbor, but assistance for eternal happiness. Now, some of us may say we are too ill or weak. St. Timothy certainly needed a little wine for his stomach ailments and his other infirmities. He also needed a kick in the rear end, as St. Paul told him. He will be our judge. Now, this does not mean that we are bad people or that we are sinners if we do not seek to help bring salvation to those around us. The man, after all, who buried his talent given him by the master was not really a bad person and probably didn't do anything sinful. But he was not really doing what Christ wanted. And to that degree, he was not a Christian. Even the 10 foolish virgins were never accused of not being chaste or self-controlled, so they were not bad people. They just didn't have their lamps lit. They were not able to be light for others. Jesus wants us to be leaven in our world, to be a light in our world, to be salt of the earth. If we do not leaven, if we do not shine, if we do not savor, then are we really leaven or light or salt? As Christians, we are by nature made to be for others, for their salvation, for their eternal happiness. In this sense, then, to say that we were made for happiness means that we were made not just for our own happiness, but that everyone out there is made for happiness, and it is our task to assist them on their journey. Not to proclaim the gospel of the Lord raises the question which Chrysostom asks: how can such a person be a Christian? The church father then goes on to state, do not say, it is impossible for me to influence others to become Christians. If you are a Christian, it is impossible for this not to happen. So, my sisters and brothers, as we go forth from this arena today into the arena of the world, let us announce the gospel of the Lord. Let us be light and salt and leaven. The gift we have received is ours to share. It is a great gift. It is salvation. It is true happiness. Let us help others see that they too were made for happiness. God bless you all.